Do I have them? There we go. Hey everybody, how are we doing? I should have gotten that audio together before. How's everybody doing? I have been busy. We streamed on Tuesday, and I think we streamed on Tuesday the week before. And we've been home for 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks now from BGG Con, but we had a lot of people visiting. Hey Time Roller. We had a really good time at BGG Con Spring. We played a bunch of games, surprisingly. We taught some of the two guys that were in town from the SDGA jury Fromage. They were wanting to play that. I mean, I guess it's coming soon in Germany, so they were both very excited, and I think they both really liked it. And then we played another game of, which I now have bought the expansion for. We played another game of Thunder Road and Thunder Road Vendetta, Maximum Chrome, but we bought the Carnival of Chaos or something like that, which seems fun. And then what else did we do? Nikki and I's anniversary is this month. We've been together 20 years, or married for 20 years, been together longer than that. And we went to Disneyland with our friend Christoph from the children's, he's from the SDGA jury. He's actually on both the children's and the main jury, which was great. We had a really fun time, hung out with Mike. I went to a retro video gaming expo on last Friday, which was really fun. We had gone to another, I guess it was video game. It was their very first time doing it though, so it wasn't so. It was okay. Actually, they had more video games to play, although at this one they had more computers and consoles, though. So maybe. So it was kind of cool. And then, hey, congrats to you too. The expansion that adds 18-wheelers looks cool. So we played the 18-wheelers, which was part of the main game, Carnival of. So I'm not sure. We ended up playing, I think, a full packed group. Maybe had one. Maybe it was 5 of us. But I think that it must have been 6 of us. So Nick was the motorcycle gang, and I was the 18-wheeler, and that was interesting. I actually did way better than I thought I would with that, because you're moving slower, but you're moving more, right? You get to move potentially up to 6 spaces, but it's more likely you're gonna, at least the way that I roll, I'm just gonna be barreling along at like 3 or 4 if I'm lucky. But it's pretty awesome, and I ended up winning that game, which I don't believe even happened, because goodness gracious, those guys were. Nikki was doing really well again, because I think she won it when we played on the show. I know she won it. I was bummed because I was like really struck. I was trying to keep up, but I think it was just that in that game I think it was the the die rolls that got me on the last 2 rolls or 3 rolls. Although I didn't roll that amazingly well. I think in that game I did okay. The interesting thing was in the semi, you have 3 components. So you have a main truck and 2 trailers, and you can distribute the damage, and people can target and try to take out those things, but it's still going to be dragged along. I don't think you're going to. I think you're going to place a die on it if it's completely out of commission, but you might be able to repair it. I don't remember. I mean, I didn't get that far. They were definitely hammering me. I wish we played it. So we played with Mike and Nick, and we played it with our friend Preston, and maybe Charlie. Seems about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I feel like we had 6. It was great, and we had a really good time. It was really fun. We played more of the. Yeah, I think we had 6. We played Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship, a couple of times as well. Everybody had gotten their copy of that. You know, they're sending it out for people to check out. The issue is, of course, it's been delayed a little bit. I think it's just been delayed to Gen Con. So we'll see. We have videos for that forthcoming. So maybe we'll be okay on that. What else do we have? But it was great. We had played all the STJ nominated games. The only one we didn't play was Endeavor, which I have already played. We played the prototype on a live stream last year sometime when they were crowdfunding it. So, which is cool. I mean, we really enjoyed it, and everybody had a really great play of it. So Mike and Aaron are gearing up to film that. We looks like we're not going to be able to have Brian and Tashi this year. They've got both of the next 2 weekends busy, and Nikki and I are going to be out of town for our anniversary, which is cool. I'm excited, but at the same time, I can never schedule travel plans and not feel bad. Like, it's really kind of a bummer. Admittedly, we're doing the cons, and those are cool, but like, our parents are both, you know, my mom and her dad and mom are getting older, and it's getting to be challenging. And I call, you know, I call my mom every night while I'm away, but it's not really enough. She's not. It's rough. She's just getting to where, you know, her friends are dying off, and she's always been an independent kind of person. My father passed away 24 years ago, almost, actually, exactly. I think it was in June. So yeah, he didn't even make it to our wedding, and you know what I mean, he passed away before our wedding. So yeah, it was kind of a challenge. So we love to travel. We're probably going to go to Spiel. We're probably not going to go to Spiel. Even though it's okay if we do, but there's other things going on in that regard. And, you know, I talked to Dave, and he's taking care of his mom. And Aaron is taking care of his dad. I don't know how his mom is doing, but I know his dad is okay, right? Doing better now. Nikki's dad had a mishap the other day. So it's just lots of things like that make it being away challenging. And it's sad, because I don't want to like let it all go until, you know, they're gone. I mean, that's just crazy. I want them to be around. I want to be optimistic about it. So, but yeah, we're just going to do a little bit of the stuff we traveled when we got married 20 years ago. This one's going to be a little bit more pinball oriented. One of the places we're talking about going to on board games to play with seniors. Well, we know a lot of that stuff. My mom loves Ticket to Ride. We had always joked that we were going to do a Mother's Day version of Game Night, and it would just be our moms: Dave's mom, my mom, Nikki's mom, and Aaron's mom. And we were very into the idea, but it never happened. And now there's just no way. I know my mom, as much as she likes, I'm not even sure she plays Ticket to Ride on the app anymore. But I hope she does. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. Everybody getting older is really not easy. But you know, what are we going to do? It is happening every moment. We are getting older. But I hope you guys are doing well and not struggling, and hoping that you're having a good start of your summer. The trip to Disneyland was great, and Christoph had never been to that. He'd been to parks in Europe, but he'd never been to Disneyland. He was just knocked out. We started with the Rise of the Resistance, since that ride has so they have a thing called Lightning Lane. It used to be called Fast Pass, and now they charge for it. But then they also charge an additional single charge for that ride, Rise of the Resistance, and you can only do it once. And then there's a ride in Disneyland, Disney California Adventure. It's the Radiator Springs Racers, which is really a great ride too. And those two are $28, at least on that day. I mean, I know their prices fluctuate based on busyness, but $28 for each of us to ride that one time. So we just specifically went to that ride first, and thankfully made it. It was great. You played Ticket to Ride Legacy. So we've only played the 3. We've only played the 3 we've done on the show. We really want to do more. Dave, I'm hoping, you know, here's the thing. He's going to take care of his mom. And so I do not want to jinx him in any way, shape, or form. I hope we see him when we see him. But he is way more less available. Now, we can continue. I know we can continue without doing that. We have so many legacy games that we have started with Dave and not continued that he would like to play. And so we'll do them one of these days. But yeah, again, it's a tough time. Like, you know, this is a really, it's amazing. I mean, we're all within, you know, a certain amount of years between each other. But all of our parents are also, my mom's not that bad. But she is having memory problems and stuff like that. So it's tough. I want her to do as well as she can and enjoy her life. I do wish, she likes to travel and she just can't get around as much. I think they have one more trip planned. I mean, I think there's been one more trip planned and they've done some for a little while, but there is literally one more trip planned for my mom and her sister. And it may not even happen. I sure hope it does, because I don't think she'll be able to do it easily after that. So anyway, enough of that stuff. Have I considered playing the legacy campaign game Iridia? We don't have it. We saw it at the library. It seems interesting, but we probably won't do we probably won't do any kind of full campaign stuff. I think the last one we did was the Initiative. I really wanted to do, we have it again, the Mandalorian, which uses the Initiative system. I know that, I don't know exactly what happened, but the designer of that, Corey Konieczka, retired. I believe he started the studio that is the Asmodee studio, Unexpected Games, and they did a bunch of stuff for a few years, and then, I mean, I think the Initiative was like 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, and he did, you know, he did some great work, and he's a real nice guy, but I don't know what is going on there, so I don't know if we're going to get more of those. Maybe he'll, I don't know. I mean, I have not had a chance to talk to him, and I don't know that I'll get to, because I would see him at cons, but I have not seen him for a while. Now, I know I can write him directly if he's still dealing with his BGG account or something like that, because we have chatted over the years. But he's done some great stuff, and he was really eager for us to do that playthrough of that campaign. But the problem is, campaigns are really a challenge, and all of us being together at the same time is just not a reality anymore. We can do some things, and then you know, Deborah has been filming, and so I don't believe she's even home yet. And she's been filming season 2 of Daredevil. So, you know, Aaron sometimes, I mean, Aaron and Mike have made themselves much, much more available. Amanda has been available. She wanted to try to film with Christoph, but we had something planned with Benita, which we put one of those episodes out last week. And, you know, that was great having Benita over. And then, I mean, people are making themselves available. We have a guest coming on that some of you might know. He's a nice guy. I don't know him. He is friends with Aaron, and Deborah introduced him to us through email. So we're hoping to have him on soon. I need to write him. Our issue is, I don't know if you guys can hear the noise. Slipping into the future. Hey, do you know the war? Do you know War? Holy crap, Time Roller. That was, my dad worked for that. Oh no, you're doing what does their song do? You're doing Steve Miller, which is a great song too. War has a song. What is theirs? Anyway, so I will get back to this. I have not touched these. Let me get to the right camera. I don't know what I'm doing on this. Am I in the right window? That's probably wrong. That is the one. Okay. There we go. I have not touched these for more than a month. I think it was one of the last things I did. I was really excited. This is before, I guess before BGG Spring. I've been using the fluorescent paints, kind of a trick to do. I watched a video a while back by Vincent Venturella, and he was using a red as a highlight, a fluorescent red. It might have even been this red. But one of them, maybe Vallejo's, I don't know. I decided I was going to try to do that on this berry kind of colored cape, and this one is still in the process. These other two, I believe, for me anyway, are close to done. I like it. I think it's good. You do another wash over it, and another layer or glaze. Really, it's a glaze, and it reduces the intensity a bit, and it looks cool. I mean, I'm really excited about it. I like airbrushes. I actually watched a video from Ninja last week where he was basically saying airbrushes are overrated. I don't believe that airbrush is overrated, but I do agree with him potentially that they might be for some miniature painting. Like the ability to get to detail with an airbrush is challenging. I've almost never, that's not true. I mostly never have used an airbrush to detail some of these things. I've done some shading. I don't think I have any of them out here right now, but I've done some like dust of dirt, a dust of like glow, and it's fine. It would be, I don't know. I have not done enough of it to determine whether I think that it would be better for me to go that route or to paint. Now, John is a much, much better painter than I am. He won another, like this time I think last year he got a bronze, Golden Demon Award, and then this year he got a silver. So he's on his way to getting a Golden Demon, which would be amazing. I mean, the guy is really quite the painter. And he is just painting, right? He does a lot of painting, and he's getting really quite good, which is exciting to see. I don't paint like that. I also don't spend as much time. I got too many other things to do, but I do love painting. So I'm going to try to do the glaze on this guy, see how that turns out, and then I'm going to try to do the cloaks. Slipping into darkness. That's not it too. There is a. I think I'm remembering it's out of sight. There's a. Good gosh, what is that song? I mean, that was when I was a kid. My dad actually worked on that album, and it was put out. It was like when they first started on MCI. I like Slipping into Darkness. The other one I actually really like is Me and Baby Brother and goodness gracious, there's another. Cisco Kid. Those guys were pretty great. My mom still occasionally talks to Howard, one of the singers from that band. But yeah, they were great. Slipping into Darkness is great too. Yeah, my dad worked for for a while there when he came to so when we were in Colorado, he worked with a guy named Bill Simzik, who was producing. He produced records with that guy, and he did an album. I don't know if he actually worked on Joe Walsh's album. Joe Walsh used to be produced by him when he was the James Gang, and I don't know if he brought Joe Walsh to the Eagles or Joe Walsh brought him to the Eagles, but he produced one of the records, or singles or something maybe on one of the albums prior to Hotel California, but Bill ended up producing Hotel California. And my dad came to California, but not to work on that. He did not like Joe Walsh. And the funny thing is, it seems to me like Joe Walsh is the nice guy out of those guys. At least of the ones that are still kind of around. But he ended up coming out and working with War and the Knack and stuff like that. And then he started producing his own stuff. He'd always been doing his own stuff, but he was doing production of other people, like he was heading that up. So it was pretty interesting. And those guys were interesting too. I remember them very well from as a kid, but I was little. Hey, Cersei. But yeah, legacy games are a challenge, and I don't know that we'll be getting back to anything like that anytime soon. As much as I would love to, it's just, it is, like I've said many times, even I think when we were doing the initiative, it's diminishing returns. You end up having fewer and fewer viewers, and you know, they don't want to spoil the game for themselves if they have any interest in playing it. So it's weird. It's a really double-edged sword, because it was truly fun for us. We were all looking forward to playing the initiative, and you know, we were looking forward to playing Clank Legacy before the pandemic, and that just didn't happen. You know, it was like we went into lockdown here in California, like right the day that we were supposed, just days before we were supposed to start streaming it. And had I known that like bubbling was a thing, we might have tried to do that. Because you know, most of us, Deborah worked some, but she didn't work that much, and so it would have been great for us to do that. But you know, we're all still worrying about our parents. Nikki and myself and Dave are especially concerned. Aaron doesn't travel as much. They have done some traveling as a family, but he doesn't travel quite as much as we do. But we're still wearing masks when we travel and when we're with large groups of people, because we don't want to get sick. You know, my mom flipped out when we were coming back from a cruise and somebody got sick on the cruise. I'm like, Mom, we'll wear masks and we'll try to, you know, we'll keep away from you and keep getting tested until we're comfortable. And it's hard, you know. It's like I don't, again, it's part of the whole, I don't want to disappoint anybody with this stuff. I don't know, it's a weird deal, and you know, you definitely want to make sure. It's particularly hard. My brother doesn't talk with us anymore. I don't really know what his he got mad at my mom, and then it's been 9 years. I mean, I've talked with him a little bit, but he hasn't talked to my mom for more than 9 years, or maybe just under 9 years. And that's terrible. I mean, he was my mom's favorite for sure. My mom's she doesn't necessarily, well, that was from my perspective. I do not begrudge her anything on that. It's just Chris was, you know, he's the baby, and I don't know. It's weird. I chat with him. I have sent him messages for his birthday every year. I might have been late one year. I'm usually really good. Like anytime it's a person's birthday and it's in my brain, like I have a friend of mine's that her and her husband were good friends of mine, and they had split up, and I don't know how many years later, I woke up one morning, I'm like, oh, it's Christy's birthday, and she's like, oh, you know, I wrote her, I'm like, oh, happy birthday, and she's like, oh, you know, Tom and I are not together anymore. I'm like, oh, I know, I just was wishing you a happy birthday, because she was, whoa, boy, these things are terrible. So I just tried to clean the tip of this. This is the nozzle on this bottle. It does not stay. You really have to be cautious on these. And this one, now I understand that this is kind of bad. This one squirted out. I was on stream, I believe, and I squirted out a whole bunch of this speed paint medium, and it was a mess. Anyway, enough of crazy stuff. Yeah, it is weird. And poor Nikki, you know, she is worried about her dad a lot and trying to be helpful and struggling with all the problems. And her mom's still doing fine. She's just declining, right? And it's hard for Nikki to even see any of that stuff. I mean, it's hard for me. I know it's hard for most everybody when their parents are starting to get weak and things like that. My dad's passing was so quick that like we used to see each other maybe once a month in holidays. So we saw them for Christmas, and we got together and, you know, hung out with my family. And I don't remember what my dad's how he was doing right then, but when we saw him 2 months later, he was noticeably weak, and I just flipped out. I'm like, Mom, what's going on? And she's like, he's getting weaker. And so, you know, I tried to hang with him more, but he was always that kind of independent guy. And so he passed, and it was hard. It was really hard on everybody. And I mean, it was terrible. And Nikki was great because she was really just trying to help. You know, she didn't have as much invested in all that, but was very concerned. And she took care of, you know, tried to take care of all of the stuff that's harsh. And then we had his funeral, and oh my goodness, that was all just way more, because his mother and father both outlived him. It's terrible. That's another thing you just don't want to have happen. But we are all hanging in there as best we can. I'm just trying to take it easy, you know, like this stuff is helpful. I really do love painting minis. I wish I had a little bit more time to. Well, you know, we're also in the middle of the SDJs, and as I said, Brian and Tashi won't be able to be on them this year, which is a bummer. They have both of the next weekends busy, but you know, it's summertime, and you know, Tashi is going up to the next grade level. Like, I think she's changing. I know she's changing schools, and so that's all exciting stuff for her. And they're going to go do some. Families coming, and they're going to do things. So, next time, I mean, she's getting older, and we were trying not to do only children's games with her because she plays a lot of good games, and she's also good at teaching games. I would love for her to teach us at some point when she's comfortable with that, a game, because man, that would be fun. And maybe we'll get there. Or if she gets tired of us, I mean, come on, she's going to be a teen. Let's see, is she going to be? Maybe next year. I'm not remembering exactly. I know roughly when her birthday is, but I need to actually get all that down on my records. Our friend Annie and Sebastian, who've been on the show, they have a daughter, and I put it in my records as her birthday was. I guess 2003, and I'm like, there's no way she's not that young, and I was kind of disappointed with myself. I'm like, if you're going to put this information in your calendar, get it right. But her birthday's soon. Yeah, it's rough, and you know, not going to Europe. I mean, part of the joy for us was just to see Annie and Sebastian and Christoph. Now we've seen Christoph. We spent a good amount of time with him here at BGG Spring, and when he came to LA, and then we're gonna see him again, most likely at Gen Con. So we get to see him a lot, but you know, Andy and Sebastian have a baby, a young child, so they're not traveling anytime soon. And our friend Henning, his wife's health is not great, so they're not traveling. And so it really comes down to us visiting, and we like to go, but if it's not worth it. And to be honest with you, another 2 weeks away will probably, because that's what it ends up being. It's always just about a week, because you got to get there to set up for sure by Tuesday. And I was worthless this last year because I had broken my heel, so I really couldn't do much. We went through a container of gear that we had from 2019, which was our last spiel before. Actually, last year was our first booth again, but we didn't stream. You know, we were streaming from the cons, and we didn't do that. And it doesn't look like we're going to return to it. Here's the deal. I liked it a lot. I liked what it did for publishers, but I have to agree with Scott. It's a lot of effort for some little return, and that's a bummer. Because they were good, but you know, some people watch, but it's just, I get it. It's like not everybody wants to watch that stuff, and it's a smaller pool, you know, of people. that are interested in that. But it was cool. It was great to see everything. Everybody came to us to show us the new stuff, and that was pretty exciting. But we didn't get a lot of support from some of the conventions, which was truly a bummer. Immortus, that is what I'm working on. So I think that looks pretty good. Oh, you know, I didn't do the top of his cap here, his giant hat. I wished I had worked on this a little bit more before. I was very close to it this last weekend, and then I got wrapped up in some other things that we needed to do. We're also trying to just declutter a little bit. We shipped a bunch of games to the BGG library, and we want to ship more. Actually, sort of to the library. Some of them go to the library, some of them go to the charity sale. And when we were at the charity sale, which is amazing, by the way, we were at the charity sale at BGG Con, and they had, I mean, it was a really good year. We actually, usually it goes several days. This was done in one day. Everything sold out. There might have been a few games left. I was not there at the very end, and I don't remember why. Because I'm usually there. I was there for a big chunk of it and helped with keep an eye on things and stuff, helping people understand everything. Because every game is $10, except for a few, like a combo of certain games or some very rare game, and there's still great prices. And somebody bought the Carnival Zombie that we featured on the show for $20, which is amazing. Great game too. Tons of stuff like that. I actually bought 2 games, just what I needed. But I bought Taverns of Tiefenthal, the English version. Our version was weird. I think ours was a library copy that had kind of been messed up a little bit, and so I like that game too. And I actually now need to try to get the expansion. I'm not sure if that's even gettable in English, but yeah, it was great. And so, but they, you know, you just you go through, you're allowed to stack 5 games and you buy them, and if you want to go get more, you got to go back in the line and do that. And some people did that, and there was a lot of great stuff, really great. I bought that, plus I also bought man, we have it here. Dice Miner? That sounds right. And they had another copy of that, of the very nice one. So I bought that to give away. I mean, it's too nice. And I mean, gosh, there were so many deals. We just held back because we couldn't, fit everything in. Let me find a picture here of Immortus. Wow, that's somebody's Ghost Rider. Is pretty neato. Is that the different one? Oh, that is. Wow, is that a different? Are there 3 Ghost Riders? Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then there's one of him on a motorcycle. Wow, I need to go through these. I like that one though. That's pretty neato. The one that I painted recently looks a little bit like one of the War Boys from Mad Max Thunder Road. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so. Let me get to the. Oh, I'm probably in the wrong folder. No, I'm in the right one, amazingly enough. That's weird. Maybe it's just memory of where it was at. Okay, so he has a lot of gold too. His long shirt here is green, no. So I have to decide how I want to do that. I guess I'll just do a green. Wow, I'm so kind of out of it. I don't even remember all of the. Oh, good, I have paper towels here. Didn't even get any. It's got to be a pretty bright green. But yeah, we've been busy. It's been a really fun time, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing a little bit for our anniversary. Nikki's excited that, first she was, and I'm like, well, it's just us, and we're, she's like, oh, now we're gonna see some people, but Wow, that's pretty killer. Let's see if we can use that one. Striking Scorpion Green. I'm sure I've used this before. Our friend from the one of my coworkers, Beth, is in the Chicago area, and she's not going to be there. They're on a sabbatical for 3 months, and I just want to go see. They have a really, really beautiful gaming like guest house. That I think it was a coach house originally, and it just, all the photos just look amazing. They did such a nice job. She worked on it with her father, and I would love to go see it, but we'll go another time. There's another chance we might be going in October. We shall see. But yeah, it looks great. They really did a nice job. Kind of stuff Nikki and I would love to do, but we're getting to the point where that's just going to be too hard. It's so expensive to get contractors here anymore, because we're in a neighborhood where there's just tons of remodeling going on all the time. Full on, like, sticks up, or one of them isn't a remodel. They took a really neat kind of artist house that I don't know exactly what she did. She was more than a little bit away from us, and she had a kiln and like all kinds of neat arty stuff going on, and they took all of that out. And nobody's going to want that. I understand why they're doing that, but oh, it was sad. It was sad. Okay, I guess I'll just use the end of this. Well, actually, I'll use one of the ones I have specifically for that. I see the camera doing some weird stuff. What is going on? I'll keep an eye on it. Let me know if you see anything. It is weird, like there's a sequence of turning things on out here that I foul up occasionally. It's doing it still. Let me see if I can reset it here. If it's going to turn to green, it probably will. Okay, I'm going to just let it go here so you guys don't get blasted with green if that's the case. Looks okay. Let me see if I can switch back and if it'll be cool. It's it's HDMI, so HDMI has this old handshake stuff. It seems okay. Let me know if you see anything. It has this handshake stuff, which is about security, and that's completely understandable. But man, the solution, so we've used the professional interlink stuff, which is SDI, and that's good too, but it is not what we need here in this case. Wow, so I did not measure that. Ugh, because I'm going to try to do this several times. Well, darn it. I meant to measure how many drops. I wonder if there's a color like this. I mean, both of these, so I'm using both Army Painter and Citadel's speed paints, and I have way more experience with the Citadel paints than I do with the Army Painter speed paints. Army Painter speed paints do a weird kind of like, it dries to the hairs individually, and it tends to, for me, little pieces break off, so there'll be little sticks of paint, and it's very odd. I'm not really sure what it's doing, and there is issues with the other one as well. You know what I mean? It's not like they are. It's not like they're both free of kind of little glitches. But holy cow, I think I can hear the fan. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, I could probably turn it off. Let me just go do that. Well, if anybody says it's too much, let me know. But yeah, they both have their issues, and not every paint is consistent. I will say I feel like I've had a little bit more consistent quality, like how they're used with the Army painters so far. Now, I barely used any of the colors that I have. But, wow. Come on, dude. But, I do like the Army Painter stuff. And but the colors are different, you know what I mean? They do seem to have some analogs between the two ranges, but a lot of them are not. And, you know, there's many more colors in the, I don't even know how many there are. There's like 90 colors or something like that, whereas there's like 60 something with Games Workshop. I'm hoping that Games Workshop does their own metallics, because I really am impressed by the metallics in the Army Painter ones. And you know, metallics and contrast paints don't seem like that'd be a thing that would work, but they sure do. They're you know, it's still a metallic paint. It doesn't really work like a real speed paint, but it's pretty cool. It's thin. It goes on pretty strong. The downer is with all these fluorescents, it makes me want to go back, but there's just no way. I will never finish these miniatures. I don't know if you guys heard, but did you see that? So you know, I backed the DC Heroes United. I'm all in. I didn't. There might be one or two things. I don't think I ordered a playmat, which I don't need one. I think I only have one. But I have like kind of my favorite one of the ones that they offer, and but they sold a whole bunch of their IPs. So just the other day, it was announced that Asmodee was acquiring the Zombicide license, and that's crazy and exciting. You know, I mean, like, I don't know what they'll do, right? I feel like it's kind of, you've seen the bulk of that stuff, but of course, both Deceased and Marvel Zombies are Marvel Zombies delivered, but they could do more. And but here's the deal: I know that those are being run by. Those are the two that are going to actually be run by CMON. But it makes me wonder, like, because you know they're having troubles for sure. Their profitability wasn't as high as they expected, and so they laid off a bunch of. I mean, I think they laid off all of the creatives. So there's no new designs coming anytime soon. But the other thing they sold was, and there could be more for all we know, but the other thing they sold was Blood Rage, Rising Sun, and Ankh to Tabletop Tycoon, which is, you know, wow. Now I know Eric is like, he's kind of burned out on working on games like that. I think Ankh took it out of him. That was done during the pandemic, and it might have even been harder, because I think the Kickstarter happened in like May of 2020. And what may have happened, it just was harder for him to play test it. And you know, I mean, I know they did a lot online. As a matter of fact, Eric played for me. It was kind of silly because I've never played any of those, and we played Ankh, and he was I had no idea how to really get Tabletop Tabletopia? No, what is it, the one called? It's not BGA. Tabletop Simulator, there we go, that's what it took a minute. I barely used it. Nikki used it more than me. I was mostly, and I still have only ever really used Board Game Arena, which those are betas on some of those things when I've played them. I mean, not that they're betas. And we had an embarrassing stream where, because Nikki and I never used it really. I mean, I used it a tiny bit, and I had no idea how to do stuff. And we actually did a stream with Bruno Catala, and it was a bummer because we were really excited to do it, but it just ended up being a challenge. So they actually reached out and like, we can help you. We'll get you on the systems. And so particularly it was me. I mean, I was actually playing the game was not the problem. It was actually just the connecting with others. So I usually people send me those invites and I'll play because I'm not on there regularly enough to think about it. And so that was actually really helpful because I didn't have any idea. They have one of their I don't know exactly what she does. She like manages like consumer experience or something like that. Helps run that, which was great, and she helped us out a lot. Hey Amanda, how you doing? I don't know if you're still there. I missed seeing it. Am I not wearing the right glasses? That would be the reason why I'm having a hard time seeing things. I'm not wearing the readers, which I don't need to see the computer, but for whatever reason, I think I need my glasses. So my eyes are just getting worse. There we go. But I'm just not. I'm so fussy. I used to play LAN games at home. And for me, that was fun because I like everybody getting together to play. And I was not as big a fan of online play, but I did play a good amount of online games with people back in the day. Still do occasionally. But I used to play with Scott. Nikki and Scott and I would play games, and that was fun. The one we went crazy for was Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. I keep wondering when that's coming. I mean, I know it's probably in the works, but Valve does not feel that they need to be in a hurry. And ultimately, I think they probably put out better games because of it. And, obviously, Steam is a big deal for them. So there's a lot of energy put into keeping that working really well. I mean, I only buy games. I have some games from like EA and stuff that are not from there, but I mostly only buy stuff from Steam when I do buy computer games. One thing that John was saying, Ninjas was saying, Ninjon was saying, is that, unless you're using transparent paints to go over the your airbrushed undercoating, you almost just don't need it. He was doing some really interesting like layering to build up shadows and then highlights, like very kind of quickly. It was really cool. I was saying about this whole thing, I'm hoping what happens with them selling all of these IPs off. I said he mentioned that they did Rising Sun, Blood Rage, and Ankh. They also got Arcadia Quest and Starcadia Quest, which I have Starcadia Quest. I have like most everything from that. I just wanted to paint them. I have far too many games that I just wanted to paint, but I also want to try it. I don't remember Scott's situation on that one, but I'm glad for him that he finally got his Arcadia Quest. That was part of the issues with it, but I don't know if he truly enjoyed it. I can't remember what the deal was. I also think he got it late, so that was part of the issue, like I was saying, that he was happy he got it. But I'd like to try that one too. The thing is they only do things as a Kickstarter. And I don't know how. I know that Dan does with Tabletop Tycoon. They sell in retail for some of their games. Definitely Everdell is available, and there's a version that's like in Target that looks pretty good. And we have like the big ones and stuff like that. We've crazily got some of that stuff because it's a lot of it's a lot. That's the thing about some of these games where it becomes the only game you play, or if you just have a lot of time, I get it, you might go campaign. We have our friends Daryl, who is the one who got us into more modern board gaming. We're playing with those guys a little bit more, and Daryl's coming up in an episode for the first time in 13 years. They want to play a camp. I don't want to mention it yet because I don't know. We may do something with it. I don't actually own it, but it would be fun. A bigger game. That looks pretty good. I hadn't read the title. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hadn't read the title. You do not have to read the title. This is just I'm basically copy and pasting because I'm using the same. I'm doing the same thing. I do want to get done with these. I'd like to move on. My actual goal is to try to get through all 10 of these minis so we can play the base game, or maybe, I don't know, I have to figure it out. Base game plus or something of Marvel United, especially if it looks like they might be sticking around. I was worried. I mean, I guess the Hong Kong Stock Exchange has some different things that they do that makes it so that the publisher is going to need to complete those projects. But goodness gracious, they have so many projects that are outstanding. One that we did on the show, because Travis is our friend, but we did Dark Providence, and they said, well, we'll get you a copy of the game. I don't even know if we'll know anybody left with that company to get a copy of that game. If they get to sell it, I will probably try to buy one, but we really liked it. I'd never played Study in Emerald, which is what that game is based on. But Travis is no longer there, and some other folks that we know are no longer there. So we shall see. I hope they survive. I definitely would like to try to get the 500 I put into DC United, DC Heroes United. I mean, I can't, whatever happens. I can't be too upset about it. I mean, the Kickstarter is a risk, although this one was, it's the same thing with any crowdfunding. This one was through GameFound. But, they're keeping these IPs right now. So you'd think that maybe that's the goal, is that they will be able to complete the projects. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know how it works. I don't know what I know they had to spend some of their, man, this is bad. They had to spend something, and that is where, you don't want to have to spend into your coffers, right? And I think that was the issue, is that they had to, may it just be just to get the games done, right? They have something like 16 or 15 outstanding projects that are not all crowdfunding. As a matter of fact, definitely Dark Providence it's Cthulhu Dark Providence. It was a pre-order, and so they have a good chunk of pre-orders too that are starting to come out. But I don't think, I was kind of worried about DC United, Heroes United coming out now. For whatever reason, I had it in my head that was probably going to be the case, or sometime during the summer, but it doesn't look like it's coming out till the end of the year. we'll see. I do hope they get it. I mean, you know, I've backed. I don't think I'm at 500 yet, but I backed like 498 projects on Kickstarter, and not all of them. I mean, a lot of them aren't games. I was a Nikki is into playing cards, and that was actually that and camera stuff were the first things I backed. Some playing cards and a camera accessory, we bought a lot of decks of cards. Really neat stuff. One of the guys I really like, Jackson Robinson, and I haven't bought any of his decks for a while, probably about a year or more, a couple years I'd say, because I mostly buy them from his store now. He does way more decks than he crowdfunds, and it may be some of the IP. You know, some IP may not want you to do that kind of stuff. Although I don't know that he does. I mean, Lord of the Rings is definitely an IP thing, because he has a great deck for that, and he also has a Alice in Wonderland one that looked really good that we were looking at recently. I'm like, darn it, they're getting me into potentially buying more cards. We actually brought it out, but we didn't show it yesterday on our live stream. I don't remember the game company, but it's Mind Management, that game. There's a deck of cards that I guess you can use for that game, but it also is just a deck of cards that you can modify any kind of standard game you're playing. You flip over one of the cards and it has a rule that, you know, not necessarily everything's going to work, but it looks kind of fun, and I'm eager to see. I mean, it was gorgeous too. I'm like, well, I'm buying Nikki a deck of cards, but because each card, one of the things that Nikki likes is if all of the art is different, and it looked like that was the case on that one. Okay. So I didn't buy a CD of a band that I like. It's a solo CD from one of the guys in the band, because I was going to potentially deliver while we were in Dallas, and so I went to order it, and it's like not coming out till August. I think it's just totally sold out, and they have another run coming. I think this one's independent, independent in that they are doing the release as well. So I definitely want to get it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could probably listen to it on Amazon Apple Tunes. So I will give it a shot there just to hear it. But it is funny that I'm always a little concerned about getting stuff when we're traveling. Wow, look at that. Bunch of paint coming out. Let me just put it in here. I don't love using having shipment comes. Our friend checks our packages for us and everything, but I just don't like him to have to deal with it. And invariably a pile of stuff, avalanche of things will come while he's while we're away. Ooh, too light. I'm making a mess. I do want it to cover up the green, so I think I need a little bit of black, which is here as well. Wow, is it the temperature? All these paints are coming out. Oof. I need to put that in there too. It's not even hot. I mean, it's warm-ish outside, but in here it's cool because it's air conditioning. So yeah, our main studio air conditioning is out. So we have like a wall-mounted air conditioner that's got to be 40 years old. Doing a better job. It's working. So we'll see what I'm going to do about that. I mean, we had a guy come out twice already, and we don't have an answer on what to do. But it looks like we need to replace it, but they were supposed to give me an estimate on a replacement, and I have not heard anything for more than a week now, which is a bummer. Again, it's starting to get warm, so everybody's probably dealing with stuff. Wow, this black, I'm getting it everywhere. It's not drying that fast. That's a pretty good green. I will try to do a little bit of layering or glazes. I have a fluorescent green too. I could just use that, but I'm thinking very light yellow might. I'm also afraid it'll just mess everything up because it looks like this is pretty good. It wasn't an intense undercoat though, which I'm kind of on the fence on. I really feel I should with these comic-y look ones. I just don't want them so... I'm on Reddit looking at the people's work on there all the time, and there's some great stuff. And some of them are really bright. I don't love the super bright comic stuff, but I get it. I mean, these are comic characters. It's totally a valid approach. I mean, look at this. This is... the colors here are crazy. But it's awesome. Still not dry. Well, let me set... I don't know. It's just in this little crack right here that it's not getting dry. Brian's telling me that maybe they can film tomorrow. That would be cool. Nikki's going to her mom and dad, so. It would be nice to just have them. I would like to. The downer is we want to do the discussion video, and part of it is I want Tashi to be involved. I like it when she's in there. She had some really great takes last year. And I would love for more of that. I want everybody's opinion. It's fun to hear people what they think, how it applies. Like her issue was something about her mom wiping out Brian and herself in Ticket to Ride Legacy, which I still would love to play that. We've just talked to some people this week, 2 weeks ago at BGCon. They were just saying how great it was, and I'm like, oh man, we need to do it. And Nikki and I should just do it. Maybe we can have a substitute. It doesn't really matter. I just, I will tell you, I know Dave's not. He's having a bit of a hard time, and I miss seeing him. And there's not much you can do, right? I mean, this is the thing. So we shall see. It's funny, my phone is like making notifications and they're very quiet. I do not understand what's going on with my phone. We had a freight delivery the other day, and they were calling the day before to schedule, actually it was the day before, because they were trying to do it that day, but we didn't get the phone until a little too late. It was still during work hours, but a person had to leave early. And so I'm like, what is going on with the phone, it doesn't seem to like have a loud enough ring. I don't know, maybe I need to just go back to using an iPhone. I don't like using an iPhone when I'm doing work, because I can download files and save things and edit them. There's reasons for me to use an Android phone, and I really do like what it offers. Now it's looking a little bit more like one color. It's not the shading seems to be subsiding here. I probably didn't. It wasn't bright enough. I know that. So I will do a little bit of highlighting, layered highlighting instead of glazed highlighting, and see if we can get it to work. Did I paint this twice now? Oh, that's the one I did. This is the second one. But yeah, this is fun. These guys are great. Oof, I just put the purple in there. That is weird. Why did that do that? I thought I stuck it in the green. Oops. I'm not even sure why Simon had not done another. I know that they kind of kept Blood Rage in stock. Sort of, but I know, I think it was between print runs, but that one's one people just love. You'd think that you would want that to be at retail all the time, or, most of the time at least. I mean, it's hard to determine how much people want, and all that's a challenge. I mean, it's really worrisome. I've had some discussions with publishers since the tariff stuff, and I mean, they just made another change yesterday. We were talking with somebody. There's a product that we might carry in our store, and they're in Europe, so we're not sure how easy and good that's all going to be. It was kind of exciting. We talked about it at the beginning of the year, I think, or a month or two in, but we weren't too crazy about the tariffs, and I knew it was going to come, that was going to have the strategy, but we shall see. That does not look like I put any purple on that boot. I mean, it's in the shade, so it's, shadows, the shade. Well, cool. That is pretty interesting. One thing I haven't done a lot of is glazing the other direction, making it darker. That'll be intriguing. So we're going to try to do a gold, and I got to tell you, that is horrifying, because I don't know that I would use. Well, if I put yellow on, I can still glaze it over the color. I'm actually thinking of using this Ancient Honey as the gold. It's a cool color. Hey Guardians, how you doing? But I really like this as a gold. It's very good. So one thing I will really praise Army Painters, Speed Paints, and Paints is they put mixing balls in all the paints. Does this have any? Sure does. So the strong shade, skin tone, shade or whatever. These have two, I'm not putting them in the shot. These have two mixing balls in it, which is great. These especially, but you know, you really need to shake all of them. And I actually feel that the speed paints, I mean, you have to, I mean, this is not moving at all. Let me just shake it up on the mixer here. Taking a long time. I mean, these paints are pretty thick, I feel. I did buy the 50 paint set from Army Painter of the new War Paints Fanatic. And what I've used is pretty great. One of the interesting things I love about their sets is there's not a ton of overlap. So you could actually build up, if you wanted to have the full, there it goes, starting to shake up in there, wow. So if you wanted to build up to a good gosh, I got paint everywhere. Man, I was just telling you, build up to a strong color. Who knows? Out of it, thinking about paint on my hands. But I'm saying building up to a strong collection. You can buy the sets and have most everything without any repeats. And I think the repeats would be things that you're going to need, like black and white and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how all that works, but I don't need all those paints. I almost bought, like, they had the full set at, we have a store called, wow, that's barely any yellow, Lincoln. Store called Geeky Tees. They're over in Burbank. And when I went last year with Christoph after Gen Con, they still had the set because it's limited. And I almost bought it, and I'm like, I just don't need all those paints. I really don't. And so I didn't buy them. And maybe I should have, but I really shouldn't have. I don't have the space. The issue is I have actually kind of more contrast speed paint type things than I do of regular paints, sort of. I have some older paints that are still great. So I don't know. So there's some purple on that. Wow, is that dry? Goodness gracious, this stuff dries so fast. I do have air conditioning going, so that could be part of the problem. Hey, there's my head. What does it look like? Looks like I'm going bald. Maybe. Making a mess. I don't actually, I haven't thought about, like, what if I go bald? Like, I mean, I've had long hair. I need to cut my hair, to be honest, but I've had long hair forever because I just never knew what to do with it. I had short hair and I used gel and I just could not stand it anymore. And so I'm like, well, let me just grow it out for a bit and see if I find something I like. And I never found anything I liked. And so now I've had this way for a long time, since I've known Nikki. And because it was before, she thought I was grunge when she met me. He's too grunge. I never found it. I never found anything I really liked. And I don't even know what would work with me. I mean, Nikki's brave. She's constantly changing her hair. Well, a lot more lately. I'm not sure if this is bright enough undercoating. But additionally, why worry about it? You just got to do, go to the level that you feel comfortable doing. I mean, part of me wishes I was just doing it didn't get the purple in the hand, I think. There's like a little bit of purple. Maybe it's the other one. No? There's a little tiny bit of purple there, but that actually looks like a finger, so maybe I did that wrong. Yeah, this is not bright enough. Huh, harumph. That's another thing. I need to work on the airbrushing for the undercoating because I don't seem to be getting things. I mean, this guy's not done, but there's absolutely not. It looks kind of good on camera, but not really. It needs more brighter highlights for the very end. And I don't remember why I pulled this guy out, because he was last month, but probably just to discuss exactly that, because what do you do? Mike. But yeah, I would like them to be brighter. Oh, you know what? There's a little bit of purple on his thumb, and that's probably dry already. Maybe. We shall see how that works. Maybe I'll do that on these others before I paint it. Might not be bright enough though. Now this is something I've done many times on these, is I'll paint an undercoat that do some tricks on it before I put the translucent paint on it. And it's not that hard, and it's relatively effective. Toothpick. We'll see what it does. You have to give it a little bit of time, although the grays dry faster than the whites. I'm not really sure, because the whites are like chalky. I mean, it's just the pigment. We watched at lunch today, it was an hour-long documentary about, on Peacock, about more cowbell, which was pretty funny. I'm like, really? Whole thing on more cowbell? Which, I mean, we love that skit. We had seen it when it was on television. I mean, I think it was 25 years ago. Gosh, 25 years ago, that is just hard to understand. Anyway, but it was actually pretty great. It was pretty great. And I did not realize that Will had written that script, which I just think is funny, because it does seem like his kind of preposterous sense of humor, you know. See, I was too soon here. Again. Looks okay. I can probably touch it up and get it to look okay. But yeah, we watched, oh my gosh. I'm really clumsy today. We watched some other stuff on that. I had not subscribed to Peacock. And I wanted to watch some of the SNL stuff that we missed when that was, the 50th was going on, and some other stuff. There's other shows on there worth watching. Everybody writing me. Wow, so there's some Selena Gomez. So we bought the Post Malone Oreos, and they are really good. It's really terrible because they're limited edition, and Nikki and I like the weird Oreos and Doritos and just all these crazy things, and we got everybody else addicted to those Post Malone ones, and they are limited. They're gone. Nikki found some in the grocery store before Christoph left and was able to buy him one. And now he wants more. And I'm like, well, I'll do our best. We'll probably have to give you the one we had. But now they've got these Selena Gomez ones, which is cool. I mean, I don't know if they're really involved in picking the flavors, but I loved the Post Malone ones. They were... Scott didn't... We brought them to Dallas in March. And they were not... Scott and Michelle were like, they're okay. And Scott's like, he's like, I'm a straight Oreos guy, which I'm not. I'm not really an Oreos guy. I've had some occasionally and they're fine, but I'm not a chocolate person. And these Post Malone ones, I think one side was like I don't know, they were called shortbread and salted caramel and something. But one side was the standard kind of Oreo and the other side was like a blonde one. And so I don't know. Horchata. Okay, wow. This is Sean. So while we were gone, Sean comes and picks up our mail and checks on things, like if there's any leaks while we're gone. And he'll have a snack. And I'm like, it's totally fine. You can have a snack. And he had those Post Malones and he was like, oh my gosh, these are so good. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's my mom likes them. Everybody loves them. It's pretty funny. I wish they would so I'm hoping these are good, but again, these will be limited edition. We get into the... So, what was the one flavor? Oh, we like the coconut cream Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper that we had last year, and those are supposedly coming back, but those are gone right now anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny everybody talking about this stuff. Boy, that's terrible. I made a mess. Let me get a little purple on there and see if I can fix it. Boo. But yeah. So Dave says, Lincoln and Nikki will always have some sodas around. They're almost always diet. But they will be the weird ones. They'll never have regular Coke. They'll never have regular diet Dr. Pepper. Now, Nikki loves regular diet Dr. Pepper, but she is absolutely in love with the strawberry one and the blackberry one. She loved... This was not a limited edition flavor. It had to be 20 years ago, maybe longer. Dr. Pepper had a Dr. Pepper berries and cream, and she loved it. Loved it. And it was... I liked it too. And I was never a crazy soda person, but I drink much more soda now. Now that I'm around Nick. I was a tea and water guy, and I still am, but like I said to her today, I'm like, I've been drinking too much soda. A couple cans of soda a day is too much for me. And so, but anyway, we've told this story before, and it's not embarrassing, but she contacted them and asked about it. Like, I'm like, oh, we're sorry, it's gone. And she was so bummed. She just loved that flavor, and it's kind of back. Hey, thanks for the follow. I don't know why I'm not seeing this. Well, I don't know which one it is. Why don't I see anything here? Well, thanks for the follow. Let me see if I can see what it was. Maybe it wasn't working on the overlay. I did not test it. Yipes. Okay, well, let me go to the computer. Anyway, so yeah, she contacted them and she was sad. She loved that flavor. Loved it. And so it's kind of back. I think it's really the blackberry, but maybe not enough berries. I don't know. But I mean, it's many years later, and people were just not into it then, Wow, I don't know where the heck the... oh, there it is. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. I'm sorry. I'm so I'm just Derek runs this stuff so well, and I am the worst. I think it was Hosebad. Thanks, Hosebad. Sorry I didn't get to say that right away, but thanks for the follow. What was for dinner tonight, Lincoln? I don't know. Nikki was planning on grilling chicken, and that went out the window with something. I don't remember what. So we have a little refrigerator here in the studio. It's in the it's the green room, but it's not. We'd love to have a green room, and make it easy for people to have snacks and stuff. But we have a little refrigerator that keeps chilled drinks, and we had to thaw it. I went into it maybe when we got back from from BGG Spring, and it was a huge block of ice in the freezer, And so she took it out and thawed it out last night, and that seems to be working. We didn't kill the thing. I was hoping that we didn't kill it, I don't know. I just think it's funny. Poor Nick. She just loves the flavors. She loves the machines that let you mix. So they've got Coke has a machine called Freestyle. Pepsi has one too that I don't know if I've ever seen it. But she loves mixing it, and so she makes the strawberry Diet Dr. Pepper that she likes that one. That's too dark. That's just too dark. Let me mix an actual color then. Got hair on here. But yeah, she loved that one, Dr. Pepper, and it was such a bummer. I felt so bad for her. She was in college at the time. Oh, crud. She was in college, I think, at the time when she did that. Oh, man, I'm messy. I am messy. But she's not a coffee drinker, so I think that soda is her coffee. It is for me, but I don't generally jump out of bed and have a soda. I tried drinking coffee when I was working in an architectural office when I was just out of college, and actually, that's not true. It was a little bit later, it was. I didn't care for it. I tried and tried, and I did not care for it. This is weird. Anyway, and I tried. One of the offices I worked at, architectural offices, wow, that's just not light enough. I think there needs to be white in there. Oh well, let me fix that. I made it too dark now, I think. Darn it. But my office was upstairs from a Starbucks, and I ended up just getting coffee. It was more my thing. Wow. What did I just do? Did I put it down? What did I just do? That is so bizarre. Maybe it just dried and it was darker. But yeah, I really didn't care for it. And it's not terrible, but it's just not my thing. So that's essentially the same color. Ugh, I'm really making a mess. I like this brush though. This is a liner, I think. Yeah. I miss having an art supply store nearby. It wasn't even that near, but it was close enough. Because I actually just like looking at brushes. I still have brushes from college, which are helpful. I mean, brushes last a long time if you take care of them. I keep lifting off the brush and touching back on the helmet. It is really bad. Okay. I'm just going to make a mess. Who knows? Let me just see what this looks like. Too soon, I'm sure. Don't let me paint. I'm making a mess. So like when you put the paint on and you're doing this kind of stupid thing that I'm doing right now, which is not working out like it sometimes does, do not touch it much. You know, you put it on and then just leave it alone, because if you don't wait a while, the paint sort of reactivates and you make a mess. And because I'm impatient here, I'm painting on the stream and I don't have other things to paint right now. I mean, I do have other things that I will pull them out, but I don't want to get on them right now. But yeah, you have to just be patient. Like, let things dry. That looks pretty good. That's reasonable. So these other ones, now that does not have the white edge on that one that has. So let me try painting it on this other one. And maybe I will try, well, it's not really white, by the way. This is actually just this is bright neutral gray. Nikki is not much of a cinnamon person, so I'm not sure how excited. I'm surprised Sean did not buy them. He is much more frugal than me, I suppose. He is such a projects guy. He has all kinds of things that he works on. It's pretty great. That looks okay. Too much. We were talking about on Tuesday that we want to go to a local Korean barbecue place that has pinball. I really want to go. They have the Harry Potter machine, which is a new one from Jersey Jack. And I mean, there's no chance anytime soon we're going to buy that. We do not have the space for anything like that. But I definitely want to check it out. It looks really, really neat. We've met the designer, and he's pretty darn good. He did Guns N' Roses and Guns N' Roses and Godfather. I like The Godfather, but I was a little disappointed by it. I mean, there was no way I'm going to buy that game. It really is pretty. All their most recent machines, they did an Elton John machine last year that was really gorgeous. And this Harry Potter looks really amazing, with some pretty cool mechanisms, so we'll see how it goes. But they do have the deluxe, they have like a weird naming system for the different ones, and these are, the high-end ones are called the Collector's Edition. And So we want to go see that if we can. This one on the left looks good. I don't know about the one on the right. They're close. Anyway. My ear itches. My ear itches. I got the earbuds in. But yeah, it was funny to the ice in that thing. I used like a heat gun to sort of get it going a little bit more, and it actually worked because it started to soften one side of it, and it actually went to there might be a vent hole on the other side. I should actually check. But it was melting the ice quicker, and I wasn't really blowing it very long because I don't want to run I don't want to run the device too long because it'll just burn out the mechanism. Nikki actually wiped out a hair dryer that she was not very old. Now, she had old ones that worked forever. So the reality is it probably was not as good of airbrush, the hair dryer, not airbrush. But I did not want to kill this one just because it's actually a crafting one that I use for other things. Like I do shrink tubing on some of our cabling, so I can identify it. As a matter of fact, I need to do that I found the bag of shrink tubing. Hopefully it'll work. I actually bought a bunch of that stuff at Fry's, and Fry's is long gone now. It's weird not having stores like that anymore. Like, I don't know where you go. There isn't probably an electronics place that's like Hollywood-ish that I've gone to, and I had done a bunch of custom cables at one point in time. Bought all the stuff for that, and it was pretty good. I mean, they were great actually, but I don't really need stuff like that very often. And Fry's was just amazing. But they didn't have that either. They did not carry the components. It was more like a Radio Shack thing when Radio Shack's long gone. Cool. I kind of like his cape coming up there. I mean, it really, I think, is his finger. We actually ran through the. I think we didn't finish it previously. The Lower Decks, which we really liked that show. I don't know why we didn't finish it previously, because I think we got about halfway through it. But it was weird, like we couldn't remember lots of things, and it's not even like it's that old. I think it started in 2020 or 2021 or something like that. Maybe even later than that. But it's a fun show. I mean, I'm not a Star Trek purist, but I had a good time watching it. And I think Nikki, she's not a purist, but she watched it with her dad. It's funny, that was my brother's thing with my dad. I was never really the Star Trek guy. But I've enjoyed the movies for the most part. I remember going to see, I saw in the 80s, you know, the original cast movies, but I never saw any. I really still haven't seen any of the Next Generation. And so I went to go see those movies, and I just, you know, the jokes went above my head and stuff like that, which, you know, is fine. I have more knowledge of it now, and I wonder if it's mostly just from seeing the movies and the other shows. We've watched most of the ones that I think are on Paramount Plus, but we really enjoyed Lower Decks. It was fun. I mean, it's not like Rick and Morty, but it's one of the producers from Rick and Morty that developed this show. Or not producers, but probably showrunners. He also does that Solar Opposites. Head in the way. Sloppy, but you know what? It's going to go underneath the coat, so I'm not too worried about it. Oof, that's pretty sloppy though. That is pretty sloppy. See if I can make it a little bit better. It is the top of his glove. Take some time to dry on that one. But that Geeky Tees is a really nice store in Burbank. I wish that it was a little closer. I don't know that I would play in stores so much, but maybe if we were closer, we might meet up with people. They charge, you know, like $8 an hour to play, probably per person, I imagine, something like that. I think because Nikki had not been to the new location. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how nice the store is. They moved from a previous location. They've actually, I think this is their third location, maybe even more. But they had two locations, one on Magnolia and then another location on Magnolia. And that's the one we mostly went to. The funny thing was our friend lived next door, or not next door, but close to one of the to the location, maybe the first location, or I think it was the first location. But we didn't go there very often. Went when they moved to the other location that was a little bigger, and now it's really big. I guess they have a studio space. I mean, I don't really know. They also have Cat Rescue, which of course Nikki is smitten with. She and Christoph were looking at these just kittens that were being quarantined because they were young. And young and cute. Okay, well, maybe this will work. I have you on a walk with me. Over 10,000 steps. Fantastic. We did at Disneyland, I probably did about 25,000. That was hard too, because we were trying to, where's the green, oh there it is. Trying to not beat up Christoph. You know, he just doesn't walk nearly as much as we do, and we don't even walk that much. We'd like to walk more, we just don't have the time. Oh my God, I'm just a mess. But I used to walk all the time, and I, you know, didn't do it as much. And then when I hurt my heel last year, that really slowed me down on walking. But I need to get back to it. I do like it. I like being outside. It's a nice change of, you know, what you're looking at. And I don't have a screen, and I don't walk with my phone. Even though I'm walking with you, which is totally fine. But yeah, I would like to, I just like to check out a little bit. It's nice. Actually, I used to walk with Dave. Like every day that I'd come home from work and I would stop by his place and we would walk. It was great. Once I started working from home all the time, I didn't go as much, and that was the bummer. I really do wish that we still kept that habit up. Probably be healthier if we did. I think that was the first one. Let's just go for it. It doesn't hurt it too much. I mean, if I put a little bit more on there, it might. I definitely want to put a little bit more highlights on the wheel here on his chest. I know it's not a wheel, but I think that looks cool. I also need to wash this because the bird droppings look a little strong. It's gonna be too bright, but whatever. Ooh, that's pulling some of the paint off. Too soon. Like I said, I kept brushing. Bad idea. That looks cool. Oh, his belt. Did I do any highlights on that? I guess I did. Yes, I did. See, I somehow banged my fingernail there. I do not know what happened. Obviously not hard enough to lose the nail, at least I don't think so. But weird. It's moved up quite a bit. I think it was real low. I met a guy at the retro video game thing, retro games thing last Friday. Who was he actually recognized me from GameNight, and he has a cool channel there. He's got just over 100,000 subscribers, and he does NES stuff. It's called NES Complex, and he does he's doing deeper dives. I mean, he's mostly about collecting stuff, but I watched, so it turns out Mike is subscribed to him, and he's like, you haven't been making videos, but he had some kind of, family stuff happening, and so he's just working on another episode, but pretty neat stuff, and he was a real nice guy. We were actually kind of trying to leave, but he recognized me, and we chatted and had all kinds of great input, and it was just fun to talk to. We were talking about how I don't really remember. I mean, I do remember buying our Switch, but I don't remember buying the consoles kind of as much as I remember my parents giving us, a console or something like that, which was just amazing. Back in the day, my brother was really good. I was only an okay player on the Mario games, Super Mario games and stuff like that. I think we still have the cartridges. It was great. I remember my whole family getting into Tetris and all that stuff. think my mom, I don't know if she borrowed or I feel like she took the Game Boy. I don't think I bought, maybe I was at home working it, because I do remember buying that one. I bought that. But I don't really remember everything. I don't know what all those mean. That looks good. I might want to do a little bit on the face to lighten it up a bit, but I might not. I don't know. He looks cool. He's kind of dark. His goatee is different on the... I kind of like the other one. On the model that they, the prototype. I think I put too much stuff on there. So I will do a little bit more highlight. And since it's gold is not really too, I just put some gold in it. I'm not going to sweat it too much that it doesn't have whether it's the same tone, because it's close to just the yellow with some of the speed paint medium. But I definitely want this to dry. Last time we were at Disney, it was the same 25,000 plus, and I was trying not to walk that many steps. I mean, I'm still dealing with my heel, not fully healed, haha. And I was trying, I tried to like group everything as we were in each area, but we actually had one thing that they do there now, which I had never. It's been a long time, and they have the fireworks show, and it's like 2 fireworks show at the same time, which is, I think it's 2 locations, but they are listed as 2 fireworks shows, and they block it, so you could not go into Fantasyland, and Nikki wanted to ride Peter Pan. We hadn't done that in a while, and it's it's crazy busy. All the kids, that's the one ride they really want to ride because it's fun. You're going up and flying around London and stuff. It's been so long since I've seen it. I really wish we had been able to do it, but Christoph was getting tired, and we're like, yeah, let's just go. And we still took a long time to get out of there. They do something, though, where it's all... like, Rise of Resistance was closed during this fireworks show. I'm like, why don't they just close the park early and just have people that want to do the fireworks just hang out? But we couldn't get through, and Christoph, he kept walking. I'm like, Christoph, where are you going? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just wait and see here, because you're going to take the long way, but we should have just taken the long way, because we ended up having to do that. The wait was so long for them to open Fantasyland back up that we were just ready to roll. And so yeah, it's kind of weird. I do like the park. I think they do a nice job. We had our friend Russ, who was on the show a few times recently with us and before. He said when he went, now he's not like a Disneyland going all the time person, and neither are we, but he said it was kind of run down. I'm like, well, that is the nature of the parks in general nowadays, because they just are, there's so many people. They used to each night, and I bet you they still do that, but you don't see it as much. They would go through and repaint the railings and stuff like that, which is awesome. You know, and it kept the parks looking really amazing. I think we saw like a documentary a long time ago, you know, probably in the 80s or something about that. Maybe even older, I don't even know. I don't remember how I saw it, but Nikki remembers it too, so maybe we were together. Or we just both saw it independently of each other. But yeah, it's so much, and there's so many people, and how would they do it? So they basically close the ride down and refurbish stuff, and that's probably the better way. They had Matterhorn closed while we were there. So last time we were there, we were able to ride it. I'm not as big a fan of roller coasters as I used to be. I just get nauseous, and we didn't get to do that. Now, Christoph would not want to. He's not into roller coasters. We took him on the Indiana Jones ride, which was closed the last time we were there, and they were refurbishing it. I get, you know, things not massively, but and that got a little buff up, you know, where they were cleaning things out, which is great. I mean, one of the ones I really love it for is, and you know, we haven't been to that in a long time, but they do that for the Haunted Mansion Holiday. Every year they clean that, they change it out to the other, basically it's Nightmare Before Christmas themed, and it gets a really major glow up, so it never gets bad. Now, part of the charm of the Haunted Mansion is dust and things like that, kind of like you know, cobwebs just build into the ride, and maybe it was our imagination that was actually not intended, you know what I mean? But the ride looks amazing now, and they've been doing that for 30 years. I mean, no, it can't be 30 years because that's when the movie came out. But for a long time, for 20-something years, our friends used to come down and visit at the holidays and wanted to go to Disneyland, and so we were more than willing to do that. That green is vibrant. Striking Scorpion, was that what that was? Yep, Striking Scorpion green. That's a good color for striking scorpions. But yeah, we had a really good time. So like, we hadn't gone to Disneyland. We went, like I probably had mentioned before, earlier this year, because they had fixed everything at Rise of Resistance. There was one part of that ride that I didn't even know was a problem, but I read about it. I'm like, oh, we should try to go here while it's working. And so we went in for Valentine's Day, and that was fun. And saw all that stuff, you know, and that ride is amazing, Rise of Resistance. But Christoph was a little disappointed with Pirates of the Caribbean. We're like, oh wow, that's too bad. We love that one. But you know, I get it. It's just old, right? It's the funny thing is the Haunted Mansion's around the same time, I think, that those were done. But you know, Haunted Mansion got Pirates of the Caribbean got a upgrade with, they have a bunch of Jack Sparrow in there, which does not bother me. You know, my friend Eric he's very much into the old school aspect of Disneyland, and I'm just like, it isn't like that anymore. You can't be, you know, because I remember when I was a kid going with my grandmother and things like that, and you know, it was great and empty. You know what I mean? You just don't have that like that anymore. Although I'm sure you can get there, and sometimes it's not that busy. It wasn't that busy when we went in February because we were timing with the rain that we had in Southern California, so it wouldn't be too busy. And because that is like my fondest memory of going there with my grandmother one time, and the whole park was just empty as could be, and we were able to just walk on all the rides, and it was just very weird. But no biggie. Anywho, I think I am done for the day. Thank you guys for joining me. I don't know if I'm hearing everything right, but I think it was going pretty good today. I'll be back on Tuesday, probably with another paint stream. And then Nikki and I will be back next week, Thursday next week, to do another Game Night Live. If you have a chance, join us. And have a great weekend. It's so bizarre. I never get it right, but it is Thursday, so it's close. I have work to do tomorrow, but Nikki will be helping. Well, it's essentially work, and she's helping out her parents. So we'll be busy, but then hopefully this weekend we won't be too crazy. We need to film one game. We need to film a few things, but we definitely need to film one of the nominated games with Aaron and Mike. So maybe that'll happen this weekend. You guys take care, and thanks for the chat, and thanks for joining me, and thanks for the follows. I hope you have a great weekend. Let me see if there's somebody to raid, because I want somebody to raid. Hey Keith, how you doing? I did not get to, I've not seen Keith since November, and he was busy. Oh, there you go. Let me minimize this. You're alive. I understand. It's a little challenging here lately. Let me see if we can raid somebody. I do not know what I'm doing here. Wow. You were busy. I was busy. And you were playing. We are definitely... the con is great. I love the fall... I love both of the cons. But the fall con is just huge. And that is great, and it has a problem with the... Hey, look at that shirt. Looks kind of interesting. Let's see what we got here for raids. I know Keith doesn't come to the spring one, but it was a good one this year. Really good. Let me click on following. Let's see if that works. Hey, Bonds, is she playing a board game? She kind of starts at the same time as us. She got 60 viewers, though. Compagna, a new board game coming out in July. That's probably what we're going to do. I wished I knew the... Watch us wet our plants. We're playing Verdant. Okay, well, we're going to raid Bonds. She's been going for 2 hours. She could be near done. But she'll raid somebody else. It'll be a lot of fun. You guys take care. And thanks for joining me. It was good to see you there for a moment, Keith. And everybody... wow, do we do it here? Let's see here. Start raid. And hope you guys have a good one. It's getting already starting to be warm. Hope we all can make it. Oh, wow, she's got Tim there and everything. Nice. Bye, everybody. Thanks, everybody on YouTube. Let me see here how to do this. You guys get to be a slightly different thing because we can't raid. Man, I just do not know. Okay, I see there. Party of 5. I'm on the wrong thing here. I need to be on this to stop it. Okay, everybody, take care. Thanks so much. Have a great one.